Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Beastmaster.
Radiant team pick.
Lone Druid. Oracle.
Dire team pick.
Welcome back. Game number 2 here in this best of 3 for the SEA qualifiers for ESL One Manila. We head ourselves into the draft as the Mongols take on First Departure. And game number 1, well, the Mongols, they had an absolute roaring start to this series. First Departure, they've got a lot of catching up to do as they depart from this qualifier and tournament. Now, Lone Druid Oracle picks up Beastmaster and Invoker for the Mongols, and I can welcome in my co-caster, Heen. Completely different draft. It's amazing.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but neither team really wants to stick to the draft they had before.
Team ban.
Wasn't there a game before where Miracle had to play Lone Druid and he typed, like, I don't know how to play this hero,
And he got Deso. He bought a Desolator.
Yeah, I think I cast that game with you.
Yeah.
So there's a high chance that it'll probably be an off-lane Lone Druid instead of like the carry or the rare mid Lone Druid. Oracle, though, again, I think Oracle is like a hit or miss hero for a lot of teams. A lot of teams seem to ignore it, or some teams really think this hero is special. And last game, I didn't really feel it. It's like there's this stuff happens so fast. Like we saw a lot of fights where Ravage into 3 people dead, like 1 second in, literally. And they're pairing up the Oracle with the Shadow Demon, which I find weird because these 2 heroes, they're like kind of both set up.
First Departure, I'm just going to cut you off because First Departure played a carry Shadow Demon the other day. Miracle played it against Mineski X, played a 1-roll Shadow Demon. I just wanted to put that out there. So that's a possibility.
I heard about it, but I thought it was a mispick or something. Was it actually intended, and was it good?
They've actually done it a couple of times. They played against Mineski X, and they did it against regular Mineski, and they won both games. It was pretty damn good. Because like you zone the off laner, you make sure that if you have like a roaming support, he doesn't need to secure the safe lane. It's just a 1-roll hero that he peaks very early, you know? He's got so much magic, nuke damage and burst, he can clear through Beastmaster boards and all of that. It worked really nicely.
Can you fill me in on what items you chose to go for?
I didn't see. I only saw like highlights of the game. I didn't sort of look into what he went for.
Okay. I assume Aghanims is like at least for the second item. Aghanims is so good on that hero.
It made it kind of reminded me of the days when CTY would play like Clockwork or Shadow Demon mid, and when he was like showing off that he was one of the best players in China, you know, 2 years ago, and Miracle is bringing it back.
Shadow Demon, it's like the anti-carry. That hero is so ridiculous. I mean, in my like pub games, this hero can solo a lot of carries. Like playing Luna one game, completely full slotted. I had like 6 slots, Moon Shard, and then I'm farming. The Shadow Demon with Boost of Travel and Ag shows up in my lane. I get disrupted into Soul Catcher and to ult twice, and I die to my own Lunas. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, tragic stuff. Well, the Mongols are going to continue through with the summons. They've got Forge Spirits, Boars, Hawks, they've got Vision, they've got Auras between Inner Beast and Vengeance. Got the makings of what's a pretty strong lineup so far as FD picked themselves up a Puck. Lowson Puck, Cal Lone Druid. See how the other heroes line up. We're going to be Lobby Oracle again, and Shadow Demon for Miracle. So last hero is probably going to be Kai's support or role, and there's an addition to the Auras. A Drow Ranger picked up. This is pretty disgusting from the Mongols so far.
Yeah, I mean, Mongol's lineup is looking even more straightforward than last game. Last game was pretty, bread and butter. Tied on a rabbit into OD ults, just like killed three people off the bat. And now they're probably going to go for something. I mean, they have a lot of. They can go for a control kind of support. They can go for more damage to combo with like the Venge Sun and the Beastmaster. As for first departure, I feel like they need a combo with a Dream Quill. You can't just Dream Quill and like Puck is one of those mid heroes that are low on damage but really high on control. So, what is first departure looking to? You want to Dream Quill into something, right? And I don't see that something for now. Might be like an Earthshaker. And considering the insane pushing potential of Mongolz, they have like Aura and an Invoker, so they need some way to jump on first departure when the time is right. They can't just let them run over all their towers for free.
Oh, it's their turn to pick. The Sven is banned out. I mean, there's always the chance that the Shadow Demon does slip back into the support role and they go for something with a little more control and AoE damage like you're looking for to combo up with the Dream Coil. And out. Now, first departure. Go for the Lycan. Oh, interesting. Maybe this is going to be a Shadow Demon support then. Let's see what they actually do with this. I mean, Lycan jungle is not the best. Not really seen that too much recently. I mean, Iron Talon's been added, but not really what you look for with that Lycanthrope. Well, the Mongols, what do they need? Another support for them to pair up with all this. Maybe an initiation hero, maybe something to follow through on the Beastmaster and Venge. Maybe something to keep them sustained through the damage output here at first departure. It's gonna be in Nature's Prophet. Is that Beastmaster support in the jungle then? Just farm through with Iron Talon, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the 4-position Beastmaster.
What's happening? What's this draft? What's going on?
I mean, the Lycan makes a lot of sense. It's one of the best counters to Drow lineups. The Beastmaster can control the Lycan, but other than that, he should. If he has a wait, what? Kai's playing Lycan?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, this is so first departure things. You can't understand Dota when they do stuff like this.
Oh dearie me. What are they doing? What on earth are they doing?
10 seconds
Well,
remaining.
let's get ourselves into game then. So Sanka, Drow Ranger, Masquerade of the Next Prophet. Arion Bolo are playing that Beastmaster. Over on first departure, Cal, Lobby Miracle, Peloton, and Kai. Come on, no pauses. No pauses. I want to see what items you're buying, what lanes you're going to, what the hell you're doing. It's all new to me. Oh, very interesting.
Well, they might not have the best. We often did this when we didn't have the most. You want to reconnect, playing on not ideal thing. But I wonder if Archer decided to switch the Lycan to they saw Nature's Prophet. I mean, like the Beastmaster as the 4th position. They're like, okay, if you guys are gonna have a greedy jungle, so are we. That might have been the thing.
Ready to get back into things. Show me And money. Give me your item pickups. Miracle starts. Pretty greedy build up there. Sunspec's not going to scout anyone out. But Kai, Iron Talon, the Lycan is going to be jungling, it looks like, as he picked himself up the lovely little jungling item. Pelosin Puck, standard, Null with a Fairy Fire. Will get pulled a couple of tangos by Lubby's Oracle. Miracle and the Shadow Demon. Cal playing that lone Druid, while over on the Dire, Sanka's Drow Ranger. And R70 on the Vengeful Spirit this time. Going to be playing the hard 5, it looks like, as the, like you said, greedy junglers abound. Beastmaster with an Iron Talon of his own, and Retribution Invoker to Masquerade. First Nature's Prophet. Not only do they have these treants going out to scout, but they've also got Boar and Hawk and Vision everywhere. It's a Departure, they're going to run into the Vengeful Spirit, but there's nothing to catch. To start this fight off, and R70 should be able to just walk away to safety. Get touched by the hordes. First Departure hero is walking through the Dire jungle.
Is there a reason for okay, they're blocking off the jungle.
Well, I guess they realize this Beastmaster can farm pretty damn quickly over in the jungle, so just getting rid of one of those little medium camps. Oh, they've actually... Does this block as well? It does. I love these, the new spawn boxes you can see. Being able to see as a caster, like, exactly what blocks up. That Sentry Ward actually blocks up the medium camp.
Oh, I can't see the spawn boxes. But yeah, I noticed in my pubs earlier, they show the spawn boxes. I'm not sure if that's like the... I mean, it's intuitive. I mean, for casual players, you see the spawn boxes, but it's less rewarding for players who really nerd it out and are so good at visualizing the spawn boxes. It takes away the work ethic from it. But I don't know how to feel about it just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those people. I was actually kind of angry when Quick Cast got introduced. Like my thought process and my argument was, oh, it makes the game easier. But I don't know. As the game has like progressed and we've got to accept new players in, I kind of feel that it's necessary for Valve to add these features in because, you know, let's say you're like a 2K MMR player, right? And maybe you know that blocking up a camp exists and you can do it. Then transitioning to go and learning where all the spawn camps are and how they interact with each other, it's not something that you particularly do. You know, you play.
Bottom.
Is he in trouble? Masquerade going to TP himself away and perfectly fine.
Fortune's ended the run creep, or it doesn't.
It doesn't cancel TP.
No, it doesn't cancel.
Yeah, I think it's just one of the things that Valve kind of needed to do to open up the game to newer players.
I'm not strongly against it. I think the older me, who was more... I like those mechanics that are... If Dota was created fresh from the start, I think a lot of the mechanics wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It's part of what made Dota great. And I think I'm more okay with it than I would have been a few years back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it is intuitive. Like it's not like the map is completely symmetrical and like, you know, some spawn boxes are super large and some are pretty small.
And there's some that like go over cliffs and all sorts of wonky stuff. But
Courier? Is it gonna be able to get Courier?
Right, we'll land on Pelosin. The Courier goes back into the trees and 70. He gets the Wave of Terror across. He's gonna kill off the Courier. Pelosin. He turns back for the kill, but the first blood goes to the Invoker. Trade-off there, fully worth it for the Mongolz. They get their Invoker a nice amount of. Actually, loses out on the gold. Doesn't spend it in time, but still gets himself first blood. Good amount of experience. Both hit their level 4, but it's the Courier kill that spreads that gold across the team. It's gonna be the most vital thing here.
Middle is missing.
So look at all these stacks that Lobby. It's so weird seeing a Shadow Demon carry, and then you think about it, and he probably has better ways to clear these stacks than almost any carry. So you just need level 3 poison, I believe.
Go and stack up the poison, and you clear out the stacks of creeps. Pelosin is being bullied a little bit in mid, but he's leading in last hits. He's about a full wave ahead of this Retribution Invoker, but just look at that damage output. Pelosin has his bottle available, so he'll be able to heal himself up. It's the question of whether they can do anything about this Lone Druid top lane, though. Lone Druid, he's not really being bullied out by a low-range Vengeful Spirit. R70's having difficulties dealing with a Spirit Bear alone. For mind getting up on top of that hero. So it's going to come down to Drow Ranger and these Frost Arrows to try and close that gap. Get in on top of the Lone Druid, and Beastmaster's even making a little wander across as well. Dress is already available. There's the stun to start things off, and Cal Savage Roar forces them back, but it's going to be the Sprout from the Nation's Prophet missing out, but he's still going to right-click him down with the Phase Boots available on Masquerade. They find the kill over on Druid Man.
Nice kill by Mongolz, and the Sprite was really mindful too. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but he sprouted so that he can't just tangle out of it. The Sprout actually blocks the Furian's path to chop the Lone Druid.
With these lanes panning out, Cal, of course, does have this nice little observer board watching out for the Venge, and now the Beastmaster coming in with the double boars. Where's his bear? Resummons it at long last. We're waiting to see, though, the strength of this Lycan. With his Iron Talon Ring of Vassie, he's going to be continuing to clear through these jungle camps. Kai, 1-1 build, the Howl, we're yet to see it get used. Any real effect, and Masquerade is kind of ditched bottom lane. Doesn't want to deal with this Miracle level 6 now, with a level 3 poison. Has cleared through the stacks and jumps up to 41 last hits. He's now sitting on 2,700 net worth. Arcanes, 900 gold. And I kind of think, if I remember correctly, he went for Ether Lens in at least one of his other games. Ether Lens and then like Force Staff or something like that, but we'll see where he goes in this game.
Okay, that makes sense, because all of his spells, maybe not the Shadow Poison, but most of his spells should benefit from range. And the extra damage. A lot of people need legs.
Goes for the urn. That one up first. Things slow down a little bit here. Level 7 Shadow Demon, level 3 Venge, top and bottom. Beastmaster is continuing just to bully through this jungle. He's heading quickly into the Vlads. He's going to go for the brown boots, but it's when he hits level 6 and makes his first real movement out of the jungle that we'll start seeing the big pickoffs happen, because Retribution, obviously, with that Sunstrike, pairs up very nicely with the Roar. You make up the numbers very quickly with Masquerade's teleportation in on this Nation's Prophet as well. Mongolz.
It's really funny if you keep clicking between the Lycan, they're almost like identical.
Oh, there we go. Demonic Purge on Retribution. Pelosin, though, gonna get hit by the Sunstrike, but he's still in a lot of trouble as the Cold Snap. He jumps himself away, but Miracle's the one to die, and Pelosin running himself away from this lobby. That Haste Rune thinking about going in with the Purifying Flames onto the Invoker, but will not commit into it, and Pelosin is wanting to maybe get back into this mid lane and find another little cheeky pick, but it's only R70, the Vengeful Spirit here on full HP. That's left standing around. Invoker did die to that, was it Shadow Poison? Shadow Demon.
Yeah, but no one got the EXP. I think you have to remember the Shadow Demon is a carry after all, and I think anytime you rotate a carry like that and die at mid without getting anything, you get the gold after you die. Definitely not ideal result that Archer were looking for. But you know, Miracle's not going to stop at that. This hero has pretty low cooldown, like the ult is only 50 seconds, so he's going to try to help out his buddy Cal. But are they sure that they don't have a ward there? I mean, Cal might have seen that the ward, when it expires, you see the animation, so it might have been a factor that called for Miracle to come. There's a high chance they won't see it coming.
Oracle's getting some experience on the lane down at bottom. Sanka and R70 run into Miracle. The stun is there onto the Shadow Demon already. The Demonic Purge onto Sanka with the Entangling Roots as well. And Sanka's in a bit of trouble. Miracle so squishy, just gets burnt through. They kill off the Drow Ranger, but Cal now has to run himself away. He's not level 6. Well, he is, but he hasn't leveled up his ultimate. So Cal's going to get run into by the Beastmaster. The double balls through. They'll clear up another. And first departure, again, they get a key kill. This time they get some experience for it, but they lose 2 cores in exchange.
I mean, how long they're gonna keep trying? I think the first try at mid and this second try at top, they're kind of identical. Miracle is started out as a carry, but he's essentially playing like a support with a really good start that's starting to fall off. Oh, nice Dream Coil into the combo.
Oh, Pelosin though, disrupted up. Killed off one, now the second. Vengeance Beastmaster got dead. Masquerade's trapped in here. He cannot TP out because of all this damage. Oh, I didn't see the animation there. He actually TP scrolled. Oh, he was going to try and TP with his spell.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Hidden by the sprout. And he was kind of just standing there, you know, like, what's he doing? He's not doing anything. Get the Midas and the Invoker at long last. He, over his boots, but it looks like Retribution really loves the double null build. Double null Invoker.
It might be a comfort thing where he's used to this amount of extra stats. Gives him an edge in the last hitting. It might also be. It's an Invoker, so I was gonna say it might be like you have two nulls and then it makes the last hitting under the towers a lot easier. Like for example, you can just hit the range creep once after 2 tower attacks, but. Yeah, they're gonna. This is Mongol's turn to sneak a Roche on first archer. It's gonna be a fairly easy Roche. I mean, they have a ridiculous Roche lineup, so. And right away, they might find Miracle.
Oh, it's so bloody quickly. And now they can transition this into the push. This is where I was looking at this Mongol's lineup and saying it was super disgusting. Double Forge Spirits, there's Treants, there's Boars. There's this Drow Ranger aura as well.
They're gonna try to steal stacks.
Oh, Miracle, he's got 4 poison stacks up onto this camp. Might be able to clear it through himself, he gets a lot of the gold from it. And he's not gonna get chased out by the rest of the Mongols, while Lone Druid takes on the top lane alone and looks for the tier 1. Observable though, deep behind this lane, past the tree line from R70 will scout out any kind of defense here from Miracle and his lads. So tier 1 mid. Polosun's going to get himself that, and he's very close to his Blink Dagger actually. This putt sits on 1800 gold with treads. Top lane, tier 1. Maybe we'll give.
Polosun have to be careful about Sunstrike? Oh.
He does. Strike's going to be off the mark there, and all this heal coming through from Miracle, as well as that bottle and urn. Up and running. So Lone Druid.
Look at the Mongols, like, did we mention that the Nature's Prophet went for a mech? Or a straight mech after phase boots?
I saw it, but I didn't point it out.
Okay, so the last game it was kind of even in terms of like going mech, even though the team fights themselves didn't turn out even. It looks like first departure. Oh my god, that was so close.
Oh, they jump in on the back. The Beastmaster has his roar and might just throw out the Miracle there. Instead, he chooses the Lycan with his Sunstrike down. Retribution has a lot of damage onto it, but Masquerade just kills one up on the side. The Lycan dies and pops to the Nature's Wrath. That's a double kill for him. Miracle's still stacking up these poison though, and keeps on turning to throw them. But he's in trouble. He's in danger. Doesn't have a disruption. He'll try and pop the poison there, but Retribution just keeps on going with a Forge Spirit damage to clear him off, while Drow Ranger and Nature's Prophet take down the tier 2 and look to maybe now come up onto this tier 2 at top. Savage Roar forces the Drow Ranger a little bit further back, but Masquerade is not going to be affected by this, body blocking through, and he's got a Sprout available as well. He's going to trap the Lone Druid in, and with this Drow Ranger coming in with a damage output, Cal is absolutely screwed to the Sunstrike. And Mongolz take full control of this game.
I don't know what first departure have to do to come back into this game. Last game it was much more even for a long
mid lane,
and
Arian's full up. There's the tower damage onto him, and 70 getting nuked into oblivion, but these poison stacks. There's the demonic purge out of Miracle and the jump over the top of the illusory orb, but Lubby, he's dying to Forge Spirit in the meantime at the back end. Might just pop himself. Oh, good disruption. Now what's the interaction here? He's still gonna die. Beastmaster's the one to get the kill for the boar, in fact. Helps out with the damage output there. Oh, blink up onto the high ground. Polosun thinking about going into Sanka there, but what's gonna happen? This kind of reminds me of first departure a year ago. Back when, back in the troll patch, when we used to see Miracle playing troll mid, and I've not seen him tilt so much in a long time. This is a very tilty game for Miracle, I feel.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna, you know, he's doesn't look like he's throwing, or I haven't seen signs of like obvious tilt. The game hasn't been going too well for him. Picked the Shadow Demon for himself, so usually when you pick a hero for yourself, you're more. I mean, every game you have to play to win, but sometimes you want to win more because you're playing a hero that you really believe in and enjoy. So let's not give up on Miracle.
Oh, no, you never give up. Like, I've seen him tilt and go like 0-5 and then come back and win the game.
I'm not saying you imply that, but
a very emotional player, you know. Sometimes when things go wrong, they go very wrong. But sometimes when things go wrong, it sort of flicks that switch in his head and starts playing beast mode and starts crushing people, realizing he has to make up. I guess he's kind of like QO in some respects, in that way. You know, if things are going badly, he feels that he has to carry the team on his back and maybe make up for the deficit. Things all on his own. Miracle's definitely found the guy with the 4 staff he's got now.
Poker when he's near the bench, and then he puts a lacquery on himself. He has like 360 damage.
The Drow Aura, Vengeance Aura is level 3, Beastmaster in a Beast is level 3 as well. They've got Vlads, yeah, they've got Vlads on the Beastmaster as well. I want to see them all group up and stack up and see how much damage they get. And there's something we haven't really looked at is Cal's Radiance timing. 1800 gold he saved up, 14. They continue to give the Lone Druid this space and room to breathe. Radiance could be that sticking point. Masquerade is going to get a nice aggressive ward down this lane, looking for the Lone Druid's movements after that TP forward. It's first departure, they're the ones shoving out these lanes and keeping the waves actually closer to the tier 2s and the base towers of the Mongols here.
They still have the Aegis, right? Or did they use it?
Book just lost it. It got reclaimed about 10 ago.
I mean, they got 4 towers already, and the top tower is not as important. It's like this top lane, Radiant side, is generally considered the most useless tower. So far away from Roche, doesn't really protect your jungle or protect like your ancients a bit, but. Oh, Pelosi.
Oh man, that combo. Tragic stuff for the puck. What's he building into? He's got a Dagon recipe over in the Ash, so he's going to go for the nuke damage, it looks like. Well, Invoker goes back for a Vitality booster. Double Null, Midas Drums, Treads for this early game damage output, and then the Rod of Atos to maybe try and slow down the Lone Druid. It's super good against him. Maybe not the best against the Lycan, but it's going to have that added control. Maybe need to pick off heroes in these team fights and really make sure they consolidate their lead, because right now we're looking at a good 3,000 net worth lead. 60 minutes in, it's not the biggest thing as they're taking down all these outer towers, but it's just like they've got this itemization advantage over first departure as well. 8k net worth on Retribution's Invoker. Looking at the Beastmaster, who's actually racking up a fair amount of money himself, but we're still yet to see the power of the Lycan, right? Is he going to go for the Necrobook build? Is he going to go for split push with the Lone Druid?
I'm not sure. I think without BKB, if it's a Lycan, considering just like, okay, Drow lineups often have like a Venge. They don't have like a Beastmaster with Vlads and like a Invoker who's gonna do so much damage. I think Invoker right now can just put a lacquery on himself and man fight the Lycan. That's how. So the Lycan might have to go for some kind of I don't know, in that regard, like going to Necrobook, you don't have to be there. You can send your 4 summons and make them do the dirty work and you go in afterwards. It's a tough choice. I think I'm honestly not a very good Lycan player. BKB probably isn't full against a Beastmaster and just doesn't do anything, doesn't address physical damage, so... Solar Crest perhaps, because we don't see any MKBs coming anytime soon.
Solar Crest is pretty nice, actually, thinking about it. I mean, if you don't put it on yourself, you can put it on his Spirit Bear. Because Cal has enough money for his Relic and 300 gold. As Tier 2 is taken at top lane, so there are no outer towers remaining here for first departure. Roshan respawns in 50 seconds time. Mongols know that they've got to start taking control of this pit area. Equally, Lubby was waiting around there to see if it was a very fast spawn, and Pelosi with a Dagon. House is where first departure maybe can start to push out of their base and across the river a little bit. Look for these team fights themselves.
Dagon was sort of weird, but at the same time, they can combo it really nicely with Soul Catcher, max level Soul Catcher from Miracle. So we'll have to see how that works out. I feel like without the Yule Scepter or some kind of item that helps Puck further look out for himself, I mean, that's just really scary as Puck. They don't have like a Hex, but you know, one mismove, you get silenced by a Drow, then it only takes 3 rounds of auto attacks from 2 heroes to kill a puck. So Polson has to be so on top of his game if he wants to be impactful in these team fights.
Still yet to see the real impact of Lovey. With this Oracle, you know, usually there's one hero really that you want to try and save and keep running and flowing through these team fights. But who do you aim your false promise onto here? Is it just the raw target, I guess?
Yeah, I think the road target is a good guideline. Like you wanna hit the Roche. It only takes like seconds for a Mongolz. Every time you know the Roche pops up, it's like a big okay. You have to get over this somehow, guys. Moment for D. And thankfully they do have the Shadow Demon. That's like one of the, I wouldn't even call it barrier. It's like one of the heroes that are very good at defending. But pure Mongolz might be doing too much damage at this point for the Shadow Poison to come into effect, because you gotta put 4 or 5 stacks on it before it's worth it. And just look at the Drow. He has a Dragon Lance.
Oh,
so
they jump in. Okay. Down to half HP pretty much there. The puck. A lot of damage, but you're right, the damage output of the Mongolz is just too great, with Miracle now held in place with the Rod of Atos and cleared up. There's no false promise or anything. Lovey doesn't save him, the buyback from the Shadow Demon will come through, but the glyph has been expended. Radiance climbing to the Lone Druid might be too late as the the Razorback is gone. Melorak's going to drop shortly after. They've still got Aegis on this Spanker Drow Ranger, and with that Dragon Lance on the Drow as well, the long range attack damage back onto the Spirit Bear, taken out of the game. The Spirit Bear's gone. There's nothing to save it. They'll get a 3-man dream call out with the block down onto the slant as well. Retribution's going to try and turn this one around, but the Drow Ranger comes back to life with the Sprout, holding in place in the entanglement route, but the Meteor always off the mark, but definitely last will hold Miracle in place, force staff himself into the middle of the fight with the Drow, chased down by the Lycan, and Arian Bolor, the Beastmaster body blocked him up, and Sakri should be okay to get himself out of that as Miracle man fights up against Retribution. The false promise keeps him alive, and the Ghost Wolf, the damn Radiance burns through as Kai has to turn and fight now as Drow Ranger puts herself in a good position to battle through it all. Full lane of Rax is gone, and the Mongolz, they lose Aegis and the Invoker, but the structural damage is done.
Yeah, Masquerade, he actually teed it into the Rax to, I thought it was going to be a sacrifice, but he actually, you know, went in and got out with the teleport school just in time. So that was a really big save. Like, Nature's Prophet is one of the really valued heroes. You don't want him to be dead because he can control the map so easily. But yeah, this was my initial concern for Urza Parcher's high ground defense, because first of all, they have to fight into an Aegis, and then damage is way too much from like the Drow alone was hitting 3, but there's just so much damage. Right now he has a DD, but I gotta check his damage after DD wears off. Okay, so he does with the Vengeance Aura and the Vlad, yeah, he's gonna do a good 400 damage, plus you can Alacrity her, so oh my god. It's just so much damage. It's like unthinkable damage at 20 minutes.
Oh, another Ultimate Orb. Guardy for the Drow Ranger, perhaps here gonna get picked up as Stanke wants to try and stack up these stats.
I think Stanke understands, as long as he doesn't die to the burst, because you can't always have an Aegis run. You know, it's only 10 minutes every 10 minutes, so he's gonna tank up so that nothing on First Departure can really kill him other than a full commit, which means the team can easily clean up if they commit everything to Drow.
Oh,
Yeah,
Miracle.
Beastmaster going for the kind of fits the game. Like, they're not looking to get house. They know how strong they are. Their pushing power is one of their greatest assets, and they're gonna kind of make it secure so that they have enough damage, and they just want to make sure that no one's gonna die while trying to go high ground.
Miracle, he had another 2,000 gold. Looks like he spent that on a Blink Dagger. A little bit more mobility for himself as this Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Don't you feel like the Aetherlands would have been just fine, because that's it. You have to defend anyway, right? And one of the ways you can defend or improve your defense is to keep using disruption on like targets like the Drow Ranger. so you don't get into a distance where you can be initiated on.
One of the bigger problems is this Aghanims and nearly Octarine Core on the Nature's Prophet. If you're having difficulties already dealing with the push in, all these Treants are going to be an absolute nightmare to handle. So Cal, his Radiance now starting to pay dividends. He shoves out top lane, got himself a plate mail as well. Just trying to get into that Assault Cuirass a little bit faster. Oh, Lone Druid. The rough one. Lobby. TP out and escape. The Gust, of course, not counting with TP. Retribution. Zone mid lane up against this Peloton Puck who Dagon's down creeps. The thing is, Mongolz, they don't have any BKBs, right? There's nothing to save them from the Puck jumping in. So if First Departure can potentially get one pick off on, let's say, the Drow or the Invoker, and get the numbers advantage for them so the Lycan then is able to run through with his Necro units and his Wolves, something that FD definitely have up their sleeve is that instant burst damage. Mongols don't really have a
easier
save
said
in
than
here,
done,
though. Oh yeah,
to be
for sure.
honest.
I'm looking for the silver lining here for First Departure.
Yeah, for sure. I think more realistic and easier to execute that is to just be a better split. Because they have great heroes on paper, like the Lone Druid and Lycan. Left unattended, they can, force Mongols to, like Nature's Prophet has to or something, and then the rest four go near the high ground, but Nature's Prophet won't be able to control either the Lycan or the Lone Druid with these items. He went for Mech Aghanims into what looks to be an Octarine Core. So they definitely want to avoid engaging into Mongols at all costs, and the Lycan has to be more active. I think Lone Druid has been this top lane for a long time, but Lycan less aggressive because, I mean, let's face it, he's a 4th position Lycan at the end of the day. He's not going to have the greatest of farm.
Wilson links further forward, trying to draw them back into his teammates, but look at that raw physical right-click damage output. Miracle nearly straight up dies. Deafening Blast is not going to catch up to the puck. Jaunts himself up onto the high ground. The Sunstrike, the Peloton Puck! He turned around, thought he was safe, but Retribution, living up to his name,
Has buyback, but as we saw in the bottom tower, I'm not sure if this be enough. Just look at the. Oh, I mean, they don't have the creeps yet, but.
Oh, who needs creeps? Who needs creeps when you've got an Alacrity Drow Ranger, 550 plus damage output on this Drow. Oh, Blinking, Peloton, there's the Doom Call, Sandcall, Manta, and then the swap back with the Ninja keeping in with the Deafening Blast and the Meteor landing on the Lobby, but it's a Drow Ranger who has to try and bail himself out through the trees again for the Roar of the Kai. The Lycan is taken out of the game, and Lobby's Oracle is also dead. This might just be game over here as Mongols are clearing through everybody. Dear Lord. 3 heroes left for First Departure.
Yeah, holy crap. Their pushing speed is superior to, like, a lot of lineups at, like, the 50 or 60 minute mark. So much damage.
Spirit Bear, if it dies, the Sunstrike, oh, barely. Getting out on the kill onto Miracle, but there is no more Bear. That was the resummon. 98 seconds without it, and that's your base defense. Genghis Khan would be proud. Hordes of Mongols up onto the high ground here, up against First Departure. They might lose the Venge, but the Crimson Guard keeps him alive, barely. But Peloton will clear him up. The Vengeful Spirit finally dies, but Miracle cannot cancel or catch the TP from the Nature's Prophet. Peloton with a double kill and picks up the gem. But they've lost 2 lanes of racks. And how many buybacks have been forced out here? The Pucks was the only one, actually. Respawn times relatively quick from First Departure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Item progression, so let's assume that
Well-gotten gains.
this game's gonna go on for another 20 minutes, then Lone Druid needs, oh man, he needs so many items. So does the Lycan too, because Shadow Demon hasn't quite worked out, to be honest. Thought he was gonna go Aghanim, use his ult on 3 people at once. Like, ideally you wanna, in a way, it doesn't kind of, like, this Shadow Demon ulti is very inefficient right now, because it's usually good against melee heroes like Sven, but against Drow with Dragonlance that has 755 attack range. I'm not sure if there are any really good targets to use the ult on. Because you're running a core Shadow Demon, obviously you want the ult to be value.
Tough stuff here for them, and Puck.
Cal? Careful, Sunstrike.
Where is
He
he?
got already. He changed from the melee form to range form, and he had below 400 HP. So, like, let's say Invoker was watching, he would instantly Sunstrike as he was transforming.
Oh wow, full assault cuirass. Oh, retribution. Voka. We're gonna sell his Midas and get that one. The freshly picked up AC from Cal's Lone Druid here is pretty much just negated by Retribution's 5th item there. AC of his own. Our Ranger after the Skadi. Sitting on the courier for her. Oh, but Roshan has respawned. Is this first departure's like one chance to try and win? Does it go and fight that on their base?
I mean, it's too late. It dies so fast. Roshan. I mean, as you were saying it, I saw Roshan like lose chunks of HP that I have not seen before. Like he lost like quarters of his HP. There's nothing to talk about. It's over. Unless you were already there.
Getting amounts of damage out of these guys.
I've got a plate mail. Odd choice.
I guess against the physical damage, having a bit of armor is not bad, but still, it's not going to save you with 1200 HP. That extra armor is barely going to do a damn thing. And Polosin, without a doubt, they've got Gust. He's orb himself over into the trees. Question is, can he TP? He's got another spaceship available, but Aaron Borlaug looks for the roar. He's going to get silenced up here with a cold snap through, and yeah, the plate mail doesn't do a frickin' thing. Without a buyback here, Polosin is he's in the ground for a long time. 80 seconds without your puck. That's 80 seconds without your initiation tool, without your new damage, without that hero that can maybe pick someone off at the beginning of a fight.
Oh. This is the last lane of racks for first departures, and we saw how fast Mongolz are able to push the other two. So let's see. They're pushing through regen. Holy crap.
Taking the Lycan is roared out with the stuns chain through. And he gets that force from a stand on some of the meters drop with the swap back onto Masquerade. Will get him up to the high ground. Back at the Drow Ranger with the Aegis Immortal. Doesn't care if he dies. He manages through, but the EMP will pop him. Lycan buys back into the game as Miracle's still trying to hold his high ground, spamming out the poison and holding on to that demonic purge, but it's the force step forward, Retribution, the disruption onto himself, the poor little Shadow Demon is definitely blasted through the three of them, and Kai with Luppy, Aaron Borlaug cheeses himself up back up to full HP, and Kai, he's on the retreat out, he bought back, but he doesn't have his shapeshift form, he's dead, absolutely rogered. This might just be good game, as the Mongolz take out the final lane of racks and get themselves mega creeps, and now probably look for tier 4s and throne.
Oh, Retribution.
Cal.
Styling on Cal.
Sunstrike into right clicks. Retribution doesn't need an Aegis, doesn't need chi. He's just got raw skill. The Mongolz, Dagon, there's the puck, there's the kill. Just needs some kind of pride to take out this game, and Polosin will have it. Kills off the Invoker, but GG is called, and game number 2 goes the way of the Mongolz, and with that, the series, as they beat first departure 2-0.
Very convincing at that. I think, just to echo my earlier sentiments, Mongolz, if for the viewers that aren't familiar with this, these guys are the real thing. I'm assuming a lot of people lost items or this series. They're like, okay, I know first departure, but